Good morning. We are talking about swimming pools this morning, and in particular about women-only swimming sessions. What do you think of these? Is it discriminatory, do you think, to men not to be given the same opportunity for single-sex swimming sessions? A leisure centre in Gloucestershire has done this. It's announced it's stopping all female-only swimming sessions at a pool in Dursley because it apparently received a single complaint that the class is discriminated against men. They were worried about equalities legislation. Huge reaction from you so far on this, including this from Maddie in London, who contacted us earlier.
I go swimming all the time. I love swimming. I don't go to gender-only swimming time, but I've had experiences myself where I've been, people have been staring at me while I was swimming. I didn't really understand what was going on until I just caught on that every time I started swimming down a lane, this guy who was just standing at one end of the pool would suddenly dive down to watch me in his goggles. It obviously made me feel really uncomfortable. It's not stopped me going swimming, but I can understand why a woman who has been sexually assaulted or just has had really bad experiences in her life before might feel really uncomfortable going swimming with men. And I just think that until we don't live in a sexist society anymore, then we can't really moan about women having gender-separated swimming times.
Well, that's Maddie in London. What do you think about this? Let's bring in Alice Gartland, keen swimmer, runs a swim blog, A Lotus Rises, that celebrates women who swim. Hi, Alice.
Hi there, good morning.
Morning. Peter Lloyd is the author of Stand By Your Manhood. And Peter, you actually sued your gym over their women-only sessions in the gym, didn't you?
I did a couple of years ago, and I actually got great feedback from it from other men and women. So it touched, so as much as this story touched a nerve with your listeners, my experience touched a nerve equally on the opposite side.
Yeah. Let me ask your views, Peter, first of all, on women-only swim sessions. Is that different to women or men-only gym sessions?
I'm actually not opposed to single gender sessions as long as they're offered equally to both genders. I think in this case it's a strike for real equality. Nobody should be discriminated against because of their race or their age or their gender, and that includes men. So I absolutely welcome this move. And the fact that there are some feminists out there who are disputing this makes me seriously question, do they really want equality and parity, or do they just want a good deal?
Well, it's not just feminists, actually. Loads of men, men can be feminists too, of course, but loads of men
getting,
loads of men getting in touch with this programme to say, I don't have a problem with women-only sessions at all. Alice, what's your view?
Oh, well, I suppose it wouldn't surprise you that rather like Maddie, who called in, I think she nailed it really. But this issue of women-only sessions is part of a wider crisis in swimming in the UK. Unfortunately, the reality is that 1 in 5 adults can't swim, and over 500,000 women stopped swimming in the last decade. And that's because of fears about and concerns about the way that they look. So women-only sessions clearly provide a comfortable place for women to exercise.
Sorry, what study is this?
Sorry?
Sorry, what study is this? What figures are you citing?
I'm citing data from Sport England.
Well, as far as I'm aware, I think I know the study you're referring to.
And ASA,
Yeah, and it's not actually a very credible study. I think one of the bigger issues is the fact that there's a huge life expectancy gap, which sees men die years and years and years younger than women, and in part that's because they disengage from sport for reasons exactly like this. So regardless of what some study says, I think we need to look at the reality of the facts.
Curious to know on this, and both of you can tell me what you think, whether there are men out there who are put off going to the pool because of mixed sessions. I haven't heard any men so far say that. Well, none have contacted our programme. Lots of women have said, actually, we really do prefer, for all sorts of reasons, because of body consciousness, because of a concern about being leered at, whatever it is, that they prefer these women-only sessions. But I would love to hear from men. I'm not saying that view isn't out there, but are men put off going swimming during mixed sessions because they are mixed? Is that happening?
I think so, and I think it's partly because there are sometimes women who can leer at men as well, and also because men are frequently, there is such a demonization of masculinity, and especially male heterosexuality, that many men are afraid to go to these mixed swimming sessions because they are afraid of being accused of looking at someone or leering at somebody. And it's the same reason why men don't go into primary school teaching. So it cuts both ways. I am actually happy. I appreciate that women have very valid concerns and some very negative experiences, but so do men, and that's why single gender sessions can be good, but they've got to be applied equally. Otherwise, it's Orwellian. You're saying,
you're opening my eyes to something I wasn't aware of. I'm surprised to hear it, Peter, but if you say it's true, lots of text coming in this morning.
Well, actually, there's Conroy in Oxford is supporting that point of view. He says, I know some men who also feel self-conscious and have body confidence issues who don't feel comfortable about mixed sessions, yet don't get an opportunity for male-only sessions. Equality should mean equality. So says Conroy in Oxford.
Another one here from Nikki, who says, I live in London. Women-only swimming is where the Muslim and Hasidic Jewish women can swim in line with their religious beliefs. Those kinds of sessions are very busy. So there are religious and cultural reasons, Alice, why women-only sessions are quite important as
Absolutely. I think there are, and I think I'm all for. I mean, my big passion in life is to get people swimming. There's a health crisis in the UK along with a swimming crisis in the UK, and I don't see any problem whatsoever in having men-only pool sessions. I think anything that's a stepping stone into the wonderful gateway that is swimming into well-being and health and fitness is a positive thing. What seems to be the case in this Gloucestershire example, it seems I'd love to know more details on it, but it seems pretty disproportionate that this action is being taken over a 1-hour weekly women's only swimming session.
Well, let's hear it.
And would it be reasonable? I wonder. What it seems to be is it's a great discussion point, like we're having now, to have a discussion about how we address different stakeholders in our communities to get them active and get them fit and well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the end game. In fact, that Alice and Peter, you are that brings you together. You want
exactly.
More people to
We're working towards the same thing.
I just want to put the point to you that was made by the lawyer who we spoke to earlier, because all this came down to equality legislation, and he said, actually, no, that's completely misguided. He said there are certain clauses within the Equality Act which allow for discrimination to take place when there is a benefit for a particular group. So, for example, if allowing women-only swimming sessions encourages women to come and take part in swimming more than they would otherwise, it's ensuring equality of access so that the end result is more women swimming. Therefore, this is not discriminatory.
But the difference is that legislation, that caveat, is to protect an underrepresented group. Actually, as this legislature has stated, the majority of swimmers at the pool are already women. So the underrepresented group in this case are men.
Thank you, Alice Scotland. Thank you, Peter Lloyd. It's a really interesting discussion, one which many of you are getting in touch with us about this morning as well, and we'll